Yeah, welcome to another episode of the Game Plan. This is all about the New England Patriots and Tennessee Titans Wild Card Weekend. The first time in about 10 years the New England Patriots have played on Wild Card Weekend, hosting the Tennessee Titans, the upstart Tennessee Titans. If you're new to this program, I break down the key injuries for both teams. I look at the key stats, the key analytics. I put that in a nice little soup and give you a path to victory for both the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots. As I remind everybody, I have no bias here. I'm not a fan of the Titans or the Patriots. I'm not a fan of any NFL team anymore. I was raised a Redskins fan. Don't hold that against me. I don't like Dan Snyder, so I left the franchise, and I'm an NFL orphan at this point. So all I do now is break down games for my own amusement, enjoyment, and wallet, because I like to bet on NFL games too, legally, of course. Now, let's see here. Yeah, so I'm going to break down the injuries and all that. If, like I say before every video, 2 seconds of your time for 2 clicks, a like and a subscribe. That really helps a small, growing channel like us out. 2 very, very easy things. Small thing for you, big thing for us. So please let that or make that happen for us. But let's go ahead. Excuse me. Let's go ahead and analyze the key injuries for the New England Patriots and Tennessee Titans. The Titans have Adam Humphries questionable. Their right tackle is also questionable. For the Patriots, Julian Edelman, I expect Edelman to play, though. You have a right tackle. Collins, obviously, and McCourty are key players for the Patriots, but I tend to think all these guys are going to play, which is nice. I mean, you want to see teams, if you're an agnostic NFL fan like myself and you don't really care about the outcome of the victory, you just want good football, this is a nice kind of basically injury situation. You don't really see a lot of guys that are going to be hurt. I was doing the Houston Texans game, and I was talking about Will Fuller. I think that's a big injury if he can't go for them. Obviously, Chris Carson in Seattle's big, but then you have the Marshawn Lynch storyline there too. At least this game, you don't have Derrick Henry on the injury list for the Titans anymore, which is nice. Let's look at the key stats. These are in terms of yardage accumulation. So I like to do defensive unit versus offensive unit. So you see the passing offense for the Titans is ranked 21st versus the second ranked passing defense for the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, the passing offense for the Patriots, 8th. Now, I don't think people would think that, but the passing offense for the Patriots is ranked 8th in the league versus the 24th ranked passing defense for the Titans. That, my friends, is a mismatch. Then you look at, let's see here, the run offense for the Titans is 3rd versus the 6th ranked run defense for the Patriots. Obviously, that's going to be a huge matchup. The offensive line of the Tennessee Titans trying to impose their will on the very strong defensive line of the New England Patriots. And then you look at the Patriots' run offense is 18th versus the 12th ranked rushing defense for Tennessee. Now, if I look at that, there's a lot of people out in the press right now talking about the downfall of the New England Patriots and their offense can't get anything going and yada, yada, yada. Well, look, last year, the Chicago Bears, they didn't have a great offense, but their defense was lights out. This New England Patriots defense is every bit as good as that Chicago Bears defense was last year. They're just not getting a lot of publicity. Maybe it's because they have offensive assistants recording the sidelines of every team there. I'm not a Patriot hater, but come on. What are you doing? Bill Belichick, what are you doing with that camera? But no, I mean, this defense, seriously, this could be a top 10 defense in the last decade, 2 decades. This is a fantastic defense. First in the league in terms of points given up as a defense, meaning they give up like 13 points, 12 points, 13 points a game, something like that. They're fantastic. Their offense, meanwhile, scores about 25, 26 points per game, which is good for a top 10 offense in the league. So everybody talking about this offensive demise, this team puts up points. Now, does it help that they have a lot of blocked punts that result in great field position? Does it help that their defense, can convert, interceptions into touchdowns? Yeah, it helps. But when it's that consistent, and the Patriots have been consistent doing this throughout the entire year, then it's something you have to pay attention to. It's part of their team. This team is very, very good, and they have a quarterback who's won about 18 or 19 Super Bowls with a coach who's also won about 20 to 21 Super Bowls if you count his run with the Giants. This is a very, very, very good team. People are sleeping on them. They shouldn't be sleeping on them. Meanwhile, the Titans, we're talking about, let me give them some love real quick. The 21st passing offense, night and day. They're way better since Mariota was benched in favor of Ryan Tannehill. In fact, I'll dig up the tape sometime, but when I think they were 5-6 when they finally benched Marcus Mariota. When they went to Ryan Tannehill, I said this team's making the playoffs, and lo and behold, they made the playoffs. Okay, this passing offense is better than 21st in the league in my opinion, because because Ryan Tannehill has really just been playing some lights out football since he's been back. And this running offense has actually improved, in my opinion. And by the way, the defense has improved, in my opinion, with the, I would say, the above average quarterback play of Ryan Tannehill. He's been very, very good. That means that, Derrick Henry has more running avenues. That means that the Titans defense gets more rest on the sidelines because the Titans offense can convert third downs with regularity. So this Titans team is better than the 9-7 record that we see. If you look at them over the last quarter of the season, you could make an argument that the Titans have been playing better football than the New England Patriots, okay? Very interesting. Don't be sleeping on either one of these teams, in my opinion. Let's look at the key better stats. And let me say this. If you're new to this show, the better stats, basically, long story short, one of the first things that bettors, NFL bettors and handicappers and all that will look at is these key analytics. Now, there's a lot more that goes into making choices and setting lines and all that, but this is one of the key things. We're looking at per play or per series efficiency at yards per play. You're looking at situational football, third down, fourth down percentage. You're looking at red zone percentage. How many times can you score a touchdown versus kick an extra point? And then you're looking at some discipline stats, including turnovers and penalty yardage. Okay, now at the Titans, meanwhile, I will say this: since they made that move from Mariota to Ryan Tannehill, I've been betting them pretty strong against the spread, and I've been winning a lot. Now, is that going to be the case in this game? The odds makers put that right at the line that I don't feel comfortable making a pick on. The Patriots, as of the time of this recording, the Patriots are -5 to win the game. So Patriots -5. If you're not familiar, basically the Patriots. If you're not familiar with NFL betting and all that handicap is the Titans get a 5-point lead against the spread, right? So the Patriots are favored by 5 points in this game, and that's about where I'd put it. I think the Patriots will probably win by 4, if I had to guess, which would lead me towards the Titans, but my computer projections are split. And I also have a rule, never bet against New England, because you end up losing money when you do that. But let's take a look at these numbers here, okay? Offensive yards per play, the Titans get 6.1 yards per play. They give up 5.4 yards per play. But again, in the last maybe 5 to 6 games since Tannehill's taken over at quarterback, that margin is actually growing. Season long, the margin is about 0.7 in terms of yardage differential there, but a plus 0.7. But with Mariota, things are getting better and better in terms of that offense. Now, the Patriots season long, they're getting 5.2 yards per play, which isn't great for an offense. It really isn't. And they're only giving up 4.7, which is fantastic for a defense. They're at a net of plus 0.5. So again, season long, the Titans have a better net yards per play differential than the New England Patriots do. On top of that, they've been playing better football the last quarter of the season. So they're actually a little bit better, in my opinion. I'd give, analytically speaking, the advantage to the Titans there. You look at third down percentage, the Titans on third down, 37%, but again, getting better. The Patriots on third down only converting 38% of third downs. Very interesting for a New England Patriot team with Tom Brady at quarterback. Very, very interesting. Defensively, the Titans are very good at 36%, but if you look at that New England Patriots defense, only giving up third downs 24%. So 1 out of every 4 times the team gets a first down against the Patriots on a third down. That's insane. That is a fantastic number for the Patriots, and that just goes to show you how dominant this defensive group is playing. Fourth down conversions, it's a little bit more the same. The Patriots give up a little bit more on fourth down, but I doubt that we're going to see a lot of Titans on 4th and 1 early in the game. So I don't think that's going to be a factor until we get later into the game. Let's see, red zone touchdowns. Here's the thing: the Tennessee Titans are converting 75% in the red zone, which is an insane number. I don't think I've seen another number that high in recent memory over the course of a full season. That's a big, big number. And you get that because Derrick Henry is so effective, and Ryan Tannehill has also been effective since he's come in. They've been playing really good, but that's not going to hold up against the New England Patriots. The Patriots are only giving up 48% touchdowns. What that tells me is the Tennessee Titans, they're kind of reliant on moving the ball. They haven't been super explosive. Again, they've been better at that with Tannehill, but not super explosive, and I think they're going to need to keep that going. Meanwhile, you look at the Tennessee Titans defense, 68% red zone, touchdowns given up, not great, okay? The Patriots, I got to say, I would give the advantage to them because I just don't think that the Titans are going to be able to keep that high number up. And then you look at their turnover margin. No surprise there. The Patriots win that battle. But the Titans aren't bad. They take care of the football and they generate more turnovers. That's good. Penalty yardage, both teams are fairly well-disciplined, so that's good as well. Now let's talk about the path to victory. Once again, completely unbiased here. But, the Titans, I only have 3 notes here. Usually I try to get 4 to 5 for everybody, but I think it's kind of in my opinion, a pretty easy path to victory beyond the, take care of the football. Stay patient with Derrick Henry. What New England's going to do. They're going to try to take away the biggest weapon or weapons for the Tennessee Titans. You got to stay patient with Derrick Henry. Obviously, you can't go away from him early, but that's a thing that offensive coordinators tend to do. If New England somehow gets up 10, 14 points early in the game, you could look at the stat line at halftime and see Derrick Henry only has like 6 carries or something. That could happen, so that can't happen. That's what I'm saying. Next, the Titans, I was mentioned before, the red zone percentage. They need to take advantage of their scoring opportunities. There's not going to be a lot of them. The Patriots, we already talked about, they get off the field on third downs 3/4 of the time. We're not going to see a lot of long, sustained drives from the Tennessee Titans. So when they get into the red zone, it has to be a touchdown. And I'm talking about very early in the game, that has to be four down territory. It really, really does, in my opinion. Expect New England, like I said, to try to scheme away Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. So to me, that means, and it really is, I've gone through play-by-play, team-by-team, everybody that New England's played, and when you play New England, except for maybe that Baltimore game where Lamar Jackson still had himself a nice game, and had a nice game on the ground as well, New England's very good at scheming away the guys that you want to go to. So I don't really think Derrick Henry's going to have a massive game, or A.J. Brown's going to have a massive game. Guys like Adam Humphries, who's questionable, he has to step up. You might get, I think, Firkser or whatever, you got the backup tight end. He's going to have a nice game. Jonnu Smith is going to have a nice game. There's going to have to be, unheralded guys. And I have Corey Davis on there. I think, Dion Lewis is another great opportunity, a guy that is going to have to be a difference maker. And I think that the Patriots will take their chances with these other less heralded guys, but there's a lot of talent on this Titans team. They need to take advantage of that talent. Now you look at the New England Patriots, their path to victory, obviously stop Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. I was just talking about that before the Titans, but really it starts with Henry. A.J. Brown, you just don't want to give up big plays. Like I wouldn't mind, if I was a defensive coach here, I wouldn't mind if A.J. Brown had like a 10-catch, 130-yard day, as long as they were incremental catches. Like I can deal with them moving the ball down the field, but what I can't deal with is him having like 5 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't mind the yardage. I don't mind the receptions, but it's the kind of yardage and receptions that they get. So they have to ratchet A.J. Brown. Probably I'd put Gilmore on A.J. Brown and then maybe double cover Corey Davis and let the other guys try to beat me over the middle. That's what I would do. Tom Brady, he'll have his chances. I think Tom Brady against the secondary is a nice matchup. This is the kind of matchup, if this offensive line can give him some time, that he could feast on. Can he execute downfield? I don't know, but I think James White out of the backfield is going to have one of his best games of the season, so watch out for that. This game is it's open for Julian Edelman to have some plays. I don't like the idea of him just working 5 yards, 10 yards and under. I'd like to see him run some over-the-top routes, maybe some seam routes, maybe some stops and goes. But I want to see him. I know his game is – look, I know he works the middle of the field, but I really think he's going to have some opportunities outside of the down, like an out and up or something like that. I think he'll be a nice weapon. But either way, somebody's going to have to get downfield for New England. Tight end projects well for me this week. But, when tight end projects well, I don't think it's going to be Lacoste or any of these guys for New England. I think it's going to be Rex Burkhead. So if you're looking for a nice budget running back to play in daily fantasy, I think he's my guy. I don't even have him listed on the next slide, but I like the matchup for Burkhead this week, kind of like as an H-back for New England. And then expect one of the better rushing games this year from Sony Michel. I just think, look, and this isn't even analytics saying that. I just think that New England, they've been tinkering for a while. This is what New England does. They get themselves in a good position, and then they start thinking about, okay, what are we going to do with the Super Bowl, or to get to the Super Bowl? Now, obviously, that loss to Miami in Week 17 was a bad loss, but this is playoff time. This is when New England really comes to play. And we remember, or I remember anyway, coming into last year thinking that, the Chargers had a really good chance to beat New England in their playoff game, and New England just ran over the LA Chargers. I think that this team could still be a power running team if they want to, and I think that they will try to impose their will. They're definitely going to really test the weaknesses of this defense. And Vrabel knows Bill Belichick pretty well, having played for him for so long, and he'll be ready for that kind of stuff. But I really just have this feeling New England always does something kind of bizarre that you're not expecting, and I could see this being like Rex Burkhead and Sony Michel dominating this game. I really could. So pay attention to that as well. But let's get into the fantasy football projections, courtesy of RoccoBot, my fantasy football computer projection engine. Ryan Tannehill, I don't like at all because of this New England Patriots defense. Now, I still think he'll get you 2 touchdowns. I think he'll beat this projection, but that just goes to show you how razor thin, or at least how stingy this New England defense has been. The projections love New England's defense every week. Derrick Henry, in spite of, I think, the extra, basically, attention that he'll be getting from the Patriots, I think he'll score well. Dion Lewis, I think he'll beat this projection. I think he's going to have to. Corey Davis, I don't love. A.J. Brown has a decent game, but not a great game. Adam Humphries, I think, has to beat this projection. So when I say that Ryan Tannehill is going to have 2 touchdowns, I would say Rockobot right now is projecting him to have 1. I think he'll have 2, and I don't know where that touchdown is going to go based on these matchups. I would say it's probably likely that Adam Humphries gets into the end zone and maybe Dion Lewis. I don't know that the Titans are going to score more than 3 touchdowns. I think their ceiling in terms of points this game is going to be about a 24, maybe 3 touchdowns and field goal, maybe 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, something like that, 20-24. So their defense is going to have to show up for sure. Now the New England Patriots, Rockobot likes Tom Brady at a 17.3. Is kind of hot and cold on Sony Michel. Likes James White. I think Julian Edelman's going to have a nice game. One of the other receivers, maybe Philip Dorsett or something like that, could have a nice game. And the tight end, like I said, it projects kind of well, but I think that's going to be more Rex Burkhead than it is going to be Lacoste. And then the defense and special teams, Rockobot loves the New England defense and special teams. So there you go. That takes me through this week. I know fan bases, this is playoff time. It's pressure. Again, I don't have any bias for either one of these teams, but if you disagree or agree with anything I said, just comment. I'd love to have the discussion. It's playoff time. It's a fun thing for me. I know I probably pissed a lot of you off because I don't, love your team, and that's how it goes. But let's have a discussion about it. Let's have some comments. We are doing every single playoff game, so if you're interested in some matchup for any of these other games, check out some of those other game plan videos as well. We'll catch you then. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.